And that's the challenge. How do you stay with the task at hand when it hurts so much?
He's an elite three-sport athlete, among the best in the world. And tonight's extra, world-class triathlete Tony Schiller.
Tony has finished first in his age class in dozens of races. And at a major triathlon in Florida earlier this month, he beat all competitors, including many half his age.
Talk about a well-deserved number. A 14-time All-American, 3-time world champion. He's raced here 8 previous times, victorious on each occasion. The only man to break 1 hour and 30 minutes here, folks, and he's done it 6 times. He's the king of Minnesota multisports, and his reign started 2 decades ago. Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Schiller.
In this room, there will be many of you who will become leaders who break away to accomplish amazing things in your careers and in your lives. And I really believe the difference will be your spirit, what I call the breakaway spirit.
30 seconds. 15 seconds. 10 seconds.
Everyone have fun.
Good luck, elite athletes. Have a great race.
Hi, I'm Tony Schiller. Breakaway is not about winning, but rather a state of mind that leads to winning. It's about lighting a fire and creating a new belief in yourself and in others. You know, each of us can sustain far more of this energy. Whether in moments of strength or vulnerability, your breakaway spirit will allow you to accomplish amazing things.
You see, I think we have 2 incredible forces in our life that we're always battling. And you can see it on the handout. On the one side of the spectrum, we have what I call the quitter in us, our quit monster. And it's pretty self-explanatory. If you look at the logo, it's a heartbeat that goes still. It's giving up. It's quitting. It's the worst. And when we quit in life, when we give up on ourselves, it's literally the worst of emotions. There's no way to salvage anything positive about ourselves. But we have this person, again, I call it the quit monster. It's in our heart, it's in our soul, and it's talking to us all the time. You can't do this. It talks in language that's extremely negative. You can't do it. I don't believe in you. You're going to fail. What's the point in trying? And if we listen to that voice enough, and in fact, if that voice becomes extremely dominant in our life, we will be a failure. We also have on the other end of the spectrum what I call our breakaway champion. And that's the person that literally a voice inside of our head that is seeing all of our potential, seeing all of our hope, seeing the purpose and the passion for living, and literally embraces life to an incredible level. And if there's a tragedy in life, it's that some people listen to the quit voice way too much. And I think we're at war with ourselves. Which voice are we going to listen to? Are we going to listen to the breakaway voice that will have us do anything? Will have us take on incredible challenges? Or will we listen to the quit voice that says we can't do it?
My philosophy was really shaped by a powerful experience I had while competing in my first Ironman race in Hawaii. Dick and Rick Hoyt, a father and son team, were racing, despite Ricky being a quadriplegic. Through their courage, they taught me the true meaning of breakaway. It has become my signature story.
It's all happening. Now I can see the press vehicle, and it's like within striking distance, and I have the fastest marathon time of the whole field. It's fantastic. Soon I'm going to be on Wide World of Sports. ABC. Pretty cool. I get to thinking I'm a Minnesota kid. I win this race. You know, I bet General Mills is going to put me on the box. Now, if that wouldn't be the ultimate way to prove yourself. So now I'm really pouring it on, and as we come through the aid station, you're taking fluid because you're sweating so much you have to take a ton of fluid. My hand's out here, my other hand's on the front brake, and that's not a good thing. No time to get to the rear brake, and I'm thinking, I remember the fireman, this is true. The flash through my head, the fireman as a kid saying, boys and girls, put even pressure on both brakes. Why your mind would go there, I don't know. It did. Well, I didn't have time to argue with the fireman, so I locked up the front brake and flew through the air. The kids working the aid station thought that it added some spice to their day. When I landed, it was head first, shoulder second, and I screamed across the road, all the road rash. The pain was so intense, and the emotional process of having that quit voice come in was so incredible. Now, I like to say that the worst time to quit is the first time. Well, I got into the run portion, and it was worse. Now we were out in the lava fields, and the temperature was over 100 degrees on the road. Insane. And finally, at the 21-mile mark, 5 miles to go, not a big distance, it overwhelmed me, and I was defeated. I literally couldn't go another step, and I fell to the ground and began to weep. And then I was rescued. Only not by an ambulance or a police car, but by some competitors. When Dick Hoyt went by, he said, hang in there, buddy, you gotta have courage. Now, that's not a great motivational speech. But it was Ricky that got me, because as he came by, he stuck out his hand and began to scream the way he screams. And it was an imperceptible sound, but it was so obvious. He was saying, get up, you gotta get up. Now, you have to understand, I didn't get up right away, and as they rode by me, Ricky was bothered by this, and so he leaned out to the side of the bike, and he went like this. Now, the whole time he's doing that, Dick's like this on the bike. And I realize I'm going to cause their accident if I don't get up. So I got up, and when I did, Ricky went like this and corrected himself, and then waved his hand like this for me. And it just flashed in my mind how much my life was about me, and how much his life as a younger man than me, facing greater odds and more difficult circumstances, the law of the lesser qualified, he was turning it into a masterpiece and making other people successful. And I began to run in the spirit of what I just saw. I was into a place where my body was galloping. I was running like a gazelle, and I was pain-free. And that's the power, I think, of the human spirit. I ran to the finish line, finished far behind where I should have been, but I finished. And at 10 p.m. that night, 2 hours before the cutoff, and a lot of people don't make the cutoff, Dick Hoyt and Rick Hoyt were approaching the finish line to mobbed crowds. It was the most wonderful sports experience of my life. Dick Hoyt's feet were running as if they were barely touching the ground. He was doing a 4-minute mile, I swear it. And Ricky, he had his fists closed, and he was holding his arms still to the crowd. And the tears were flying from his face, and I'm convinced he was saying, no more limits, no more limits. You see, they broke away. Get really good at cultivating and bringing that breakaway voice to life so it's there almost all the time. The coolest part about it is you then earn and deserve every one of your victories, because no one else can do that for you. It's a very personal journey to be able to hear that voice of get up and then to act on it.